Going live. Oh, and I didn't grab my water bottle. I am so professional.
Honestly, my water, I need to fill it up, but I can wait for a little bit till we have like a break.
Will it go live?
Stream do be live. Stream do be live.
Oh, live.
Stream do be live. It's
Oh,
alive.
live. Oh, and I had the audio feeding back. I'm so professional.
I'm glad I had it muted.
Yeah, it was like not good.
So it would have just compounded. It would have been so bad.
It just kept going and going and going. The infinite feedback loop. That's the real
Really.
paradox.
It's the nightmare for guitarists and streamers.
Yep. All right. Well, guess let's get into this
Alright.
if you want.
Nah, not really.
All right. Well, thanks for coming, y'all. All right. So let's start off. You're in a blank show file, right?
Yes.
So this is Josh, everyone.
Hello.
Right. Hi. And last night he reached out and asked for some tips and tricks on MA, and I showed him some basics. But today I decided to stream that as we continued his MA2 lessons.
I gotta point my
Uh,
headphones in.
okay. Well, let me know when you're back, and we can get going.
Oh, we can continue.
Okay.
It doesn't take that long.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and let's start patching some lights in. As you're patching them, talk us through what you're doing.
So I'm gonna go into setup, and then I'm going to go into patch and fix your schedule. This is where I'll name the patch. So we're gonna put Smarties because I'm
So
gonna just do Smarties.
yeah, so this is your layer name.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna click from library, and then we're gonna. It was elation, right?
Let's do yeah, let's stick with the Smarties for now, yeah.
All right, and then we're gonna do Smarty. And we'll do extended just so that way we have more stuff to work with here.
Hi Leon.
Which, hello. Um,
I missed you too.
so the deal with Smarty extendeds versus standards is extendeds have more things, but they also take up more channels. So this one takes up 34 channels out of the 512 per universe. So we're gonna import 10 of these. I'm gonna do 101 and 101, so that way that prevents any sort of confuddling if you have the channel or fixture mixed up. And then this is kind of like the address. This tells you what one in the set you're messing with.
Yeah, so that's saying it's starting at universe 1, address 1.
Yes. So I'm gonna hit apply. This is all our Smarties. If I wanted to do more, I could do hit new and continue on. But we're just gonna stick with the Smarties, I assume.
Yeah, you don't have to hit new. So those two boxes there. So notice the thing. So see where it says add layer at the bottom there. If you
Yes.
click in the window to the right, just anywhere in that big ass gray window.
This way?
Yep. Look at there. See now those changed from layer to fixture,
Okay.
right? So if you had a layer there, you would say add fixture, and then if you want to add a new layer, you click in the layer box, and then it would repopulate just anywhere in that gray box.
So, what's the difference again between like the different layers? Is it
It's
just
just
like an organizational tool?
yeah, it's literally just
Okay.
for you or whoever's programming their show to keep themselves organized when creating their show file.
Can you have like let's say I have like a set of 10 Smarties in
Mhm.
this layer.
Yep.
if let's say I wanted to do all the lights that were on stage right, could I do a new layer and add those fixtures into that?
Absolutely.
Okay. I do you want to show me how to do that? Because this
I
is a learning
I
stream.
I think you I think you have the idea. I mean, it's not practical to do that. Um,
Right.
in like a real world scenario, you could if you wanted to, and all it'd be doing is you creating a new layer and then just adding all your fixtures that's staged right in that layer.
Okay.
It's just for your own organization. Uh, I've seen people do it organizing by fixture. I've seen people organizing by truss. It really whatever works best for you.
Okay. And then just for context, I do have
Mhm.
MA3D running here,
Yeah, it's not
which
connected.
I need to connect.
That's good.
Uh,
You have to go back into MA,
Yump.
go into setup.
Setup.
Uh,
And then it's network control.
so that one's fine. Go back a window. Nope, go back into
Oh,
MA.
go back a window.
Yep. Go into MA network configuration. Go to 3D.
New.
Hit add present.
Oh, yeah.
That works too. And then session member, right click that. Um,
It's not right here.
okay, go back.
Back to what?
Yeah, go back to your setup menu. Go into MA network control. You are on your local network. Okay,
Mhm.
go in MA3D.
And then I gotta do.
You're in your local network there as well. That should be fine. What's going on with that?
I think it's because I messed up this.
Um, Hit remove absent. There you go. Yeah, now it should work.
Okay. Why aren't my lights here then?
There it
Oh.
goes. It takes a
Uh,
second.
real quick. So the next thing I'm gonna do, just so then I can quickly visualize, I'm gonna do 101 through 110 because that's what my fixtures are.
Uh huh.
Hit please just to select them, and then I'm going to pull up on them. In arrangement, I'm going to do matrix 2D, do one column.
Um, so
Oh
columns are
wait, no,
left to
10
right.
column.
Yep.
Yep, I had a brain fart. I got them swapped, and then I'm also gonna put them at an interval of 2 meters, and then hit apply, and we're gonna shift these over.
There you go.
So now I can like kind of swap back and forth.
Yep. So now
Um,
you can see all your lights in the
mhm.
visualizer.
And then the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click into here, and I'm going to set up a pool for groups, put it down to 9, and then we're going to do. So because I still have them selected, right? Can I just
Theoretically, yes.
hit
Yes.
store and then boop?
Yep, and that should be all of them.
I'm just
You
gonna
can
double check that.
you can triple clear and then select that group. Yep. So you can
Okay.
see they're all
Yeah.
highlighted in the 3D software, so you're good.
And then am I just showing like what all I know?
Um, yeah, I mean, I feel like you're moving pretty good here.
Okay, so we're gonna do 101 through 105. Please store, put that in there, and then I'm gonna type SL Smarties for
Yep.
stage left Smarties.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna do this a different way
Okay.
just to show how to do that. I'm gonna select all of them. I'm gonna do minus 101 through 105. Please, shoot, hit store. So
So
that's just to double check that that is
summing it
working
up
properly.
at home, what Josh just did is he selected all of his fixtures and then subtracted the ones he didn't need from his selection and then stored that to a different group.
Mhm. And then just to show something you can do with the plus and minuses,
Hmm.
I can do like 105 plus 107,
Hmm.
please. And then that puts 105 and 107. And if I click the highlight, which it's not exactly on, but you can see that.
Yep.
And then you can use that to Why is the dial not working?
I can't see what you're doing.
I know. Let me do it like
T-
that.
Tiny MA.
It's fine.
It
It's
for those at home, if you have any questions, please feel free to chat them and I'll answer them.
105 plus 107,
Please.
please.
Oh, because you have highlight enabled. Now your dial
You
will
do.
work.
Okay. I did not know that having highlight enabled would.
So highlight, what it does is it will set your fixture back to the default value. So it'll open all of your color wheels, your prisms, everything, and put your intensity to full, so you can see the light.
Okay. So where do we go from here? Because this is where we left off last night.
Okay, so I actually recommend opening a new MA screen. So what we're gonna do is see where it says screen 2 on the right hand side. Go ahead and give that a old press, and
Oh,
then
hi there.
yep. So figure out how you want to do this. We're going to be jumping between both windows.
Is there a way to mash them into like one window?
No.
Damn, that's kind of annoying. Um,
What I do is I do a 4 screen layout. So I'll put my programming screen and like I don't know, top left or right. And
okay.
then I'll open up screens 3 and 4 and also put them down.
Okay. I just opened the other screens, and then here's what I'm gonna do. Just for consistency's sake, I'm going to not that. Uh, oh, it only scales by the corner.
Yeah.
That's kind of annoying. Hang on, my blind's in the way of my monitor. We're gonna put this in the corner.
Hmm.
It just minimized like everything.
Yep.
Kind of roughly
You know
scale it out a little
Windows
bit.
will do the math for you.
I did not know that.
Yeah, if you just slam it into a corner.
Well, if I slammed it into the corner, it full screens it.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no, that was not the corner. Like slam it into the corner of your screen.
hold up. I think I just see what you're talking. What the?
Uh,
What?
Tiny MA.
um.
So grab that window, screen 3, and then
Mhm.
push it into the top left of your screen.
Top left.
No, like take your cursor and push it into the top of your screen while holding that window.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then select another
Uh,
MA window. There you go. And do the
okay.
same thing with the other 2, but on the opposite side. Nope.
I want to do it down here,
Okay,
and
yeah,
then
and then take
screen 2 is gonna be no up here, and then
yep, choose your console screen.
it's not showing up.
Top, yes it is. Top left.
Uh, ah.
There you go.
All
All
right.
right. Yeah, this is the screen I normally run whenever I program.
Okay. It's kind of tiny, but I'll make it
Yeah,
work.
well, what you can actually do is you can make these a little bigger, and the black bars will just go behind the windows.
Okay. How do I do that?
Just drag the window. It kind of scales
Okay.
weirdly, though. Figure out what works best for you.
Uh,
And if you want
honestly,
to...
I think just like leaving the black bars is probably gonna be the best
All right. Yeah, so...
option. I don't have a big enough monitor.
Yeah, it's all good. All right, so I hope this is big enough for the people at home and high enough resolution. It looks like it's okay. Oh, it's
I
really
mean,
blurry.
I can maximize windows that I'm working in. I can just do this, and then that way I can kind of.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so
So,
I have
well,
my screen 2 open.
yeah, so in the top left of screen 2, you shouldn't have to maximize for this. This is not huge. Enter a color preset.
Color preset. I can barely read this myself.
Well, then maximize it.
Yeah.
So it's a preset. So go to
Color
the presets tab.
presets.
Color.
Color.
All right, and we only need 1 row.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our command screen.
And that's screen 1. Oh.
Yep. And then we're gonna go into our auto create menu. Do you remember where that is?
Auto create. Auto create. Hang on, I got this. Right there.
Yep. All right. So for this one, we're actually gonna go to additional presets. The tab.
Additional presets.
Okay. And do you know the difference between hue and saturation?
No, I do not.
So
Oh wait,
let's
hang on. Let me take a guess.
okay.
So is hue like what color it is, and saturation is like how white that color is?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's dead
Sick.
on. And one way you can prove this is well let's do this first, and then I'll back you up on what there's a visual like way we can show this.
Okay.
So we're gonna set our saturation amount to 1 because we don't need 4 different saturations for every single hue. Okay. Now
Okay.
select your Smarty hybrid group that's right there, and then you're gonna
Okay.
hit merge. Important. Click merge, not add. Merge global mix color.
Okay.
It's gonna say created 13 presets, and we can X out of that. Okay,
And
X out of
that's
it again,
gonna be on
and it
my
really,
colors.
yep,
Okay.
you just made a
Boom.
color palette. So one thing I wanted to show you, you keep that maximized actually.
Okay.
Select your all group for your Smarties, and then go into
Yep.
the color tab at the very top there. Now click special dialog, which is right next to the matrix.
Yep.
So your your hue is going from left to right, and your saturation is going up to down on here, right?
Okay.
So what you told it to do basically through the auto create menu, you said, "Hey, make 12 even selections throughout this entire color picker." And then, but I want a saturation of 1, so I want the most saturated color of each variant. You can tell it to do more. So if you told it to do, I don't know, 24 colors, say double it, it would evenly space out 24 colors in this color picker going left to right.
Right. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah,
and so on.
and
Okay.
I find it to be a little unnecessary for most cases. Um, and of course,
12 is generally all you need.
yeah, well, yeah, technically it's 13 because you also have white at the end of it. Um, but I mean, you can always add your own colors. So say like you want a very specific color for something, right? You're working with a client and they're like, I want this color, and you don't have it in your presets that you built. Well, you can always just move your color picker to where you want it to be and store that into a color pool.
How would you do that?
The same way you do it with groups with colors. So you select your fixtures, change the color, store, and into an open color pool.
So
You can try it. You have it selected,
I
right? So minimize this window, put it back in your corner. Or
oop,
sorry, minimize is the wrong term for that, I guess.
you're fine.
Put it back in your corner. So you already have that color selected, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now from here, you can literally just hit store and click on an empty color pool.
Store. Boom.
There you go.
Okay.
Super easy, right? And now you can always
Yeah.
call that up.
All right. I want to delete this though.
Then hit delete and
So
then click
hit
on it.
delete and then click on that. Okay.
There's also
So
another method. I want to show you this because getting to know your command line is also a big part of MA. Let's oops what you just did, so it adds back that color.
oop,
All right, so now you have that color. So see on screen 2, you have a command line.
right here.
Yep, that works too. So go ahead and click into it so you have your cursor there. And then what you're going to do is, I mean, technically you don't have to type it. You can use the commands, but hit delete presets, which is right next to your mouse. Right
Reset.
next, down, left.
Oh, I see it.
And then see how if you look at the color pool icon, it says 4 and then color, the header. You see
Yes.
that? Okay, and also notice how in your command screen there's a number 4 in the color tab.
Yes.
So you can call upon these each of those tabs by it. You know how we were talking about addresses and how they have universes and an address.
Mm-hmm.
Well, same thing here. Imagine
So
these
it's like
as
the address for that
yeah,
preset,
right. So
essentially.
if you want
Okay.
to delete that color preset, what do you think you would do?
I'd probably do 4
Uh huh.
just to describe color,
Yep.
and then probably at.
Nope.
No.
Hit oops to backspace, or you can do that too. So remember, I told you it's like an address, so it's literally like addressing a light. So you can do
Oh, so it's
4.
gonna be 0.014.
You can just do 0.14.
Okay.
Yep, and then hit enter, and
Okay.
there you go. That's going to come like the more repetition you get in doing stuff like that, the easier it's going to be to make macros down the road.
Okay.
So yeah, so white, red, orange, yellow, lime.
Typing skills are on.
It's all right. Lime,
Oop.
green, C, SEA, cyan, blue, indigo.
This is indigo?
Yep.
Interesting.
It shows
I
more
spell it?
purple in real life, with an I instead of an E,
Yeah.
I believe. This is violet,
Pink.
magenta,
Oh.
and pink. Uh, when you actually start using physical fixtures and you start clicking through these, you'll see what I mean. Those last four are very obvious when you're using actual fixtures.
I wonder, like, real quick. I want to do
Oh, if the
this.
MA
Just,
software will show. Yeah, so go ahead and at full your Smarties, or you just hit full twice as a shortcut.
where's full
So
even at?
it's where highlight
Oh, it's
was.
right here.
Yep, there you go.
Uh,
Yeah,
dun, dun. And then if I do like indigo, that's very blue still.
yeah, it doesn't really show it.
I mean, I can see the difference between the blue. It's just this blue shows like cyan, and the cyan shows like C, and then C shows kind of like
Yeah,
a lime green.
yeah, it's all a little wonk, but in person it does work out appropriately.
Okay.
But obviously every fixture is made slightly different, so
Mhm.
it could vary from fixture. A lot of LEDs they do white balancing whenever they start the shows, and they'll match their because between manufacturers they all calibrate their fixtures differently when like specifically on a white. So if you want like a really nice white, you would have to go through manually and color match them. Sometimes people have what's it called, the meters that measure color. Forget what they're called, but anyways, they'll bring those up on stage and they will stand up under the lights and be like, "Yep, this is this Kelvin or whatever," and then turn on the next group and yep, this is this Kelvin. They'll match. They'll take out
Interesting.
cyan and magenta, whatever colors, so they all
Okay.
match. Anyways, that was a little rambling. So now we have colors. Cool,
Yep.
pretty awesome. Um, let's so here, let's do this. So let's have you, if you see where it says for color with the little yellow ball icon, if you click in the blue area, you can actually drag that down.
Oh.
Let's drag it down. So there's 2 rows of empty space, and
Okay.
then at the top there, let's add a new group pool, and you'll notice that it will fill up all the remaining spots, and we can leave it that size. I'm
Okay.
just showing you how I make my show files. Like this is my step by step. This is what I do.
Okay.
Next from here, I do positions. I make positions a lot of different ways. There's different methods. I think there's pros and cons to each and every method. But let's just give ourselves like 2 rows of positions. Sure.
Okay.
Next, we are going to add a. Um, let's do a. Open up a new pool.
Cool. Oh, like this.
Yeah. And then let's go to presets and let's put in. We're gonna want. Let's do beam.
Okay. This is a quick question for you. So I have a number pad on my keyboard. Can I just hit like 5?
I don't think so.
Damn.
And make that take up half a row. Okay, and then right after beam, we're gonna say focus, and then make it just like that, and then we're gonna do gobo, and we'll make that take up half of that. But make it 2 rows deep, and then in that last little bit, open it up. I just need to see what I'm looking at. Let's just do all. All right, cool. So now we've made our main programming screen, right? And you can make this however you want. This is like every time I make my show file, it's always just like slightly different than the last. Um, make whatever works best for your workflow. But something's good here. So instead of switching back and forth to the command screen, see in the bottom right of your screen it says command overlay.
Right here. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's convenient.
Right. Go ahead and hit store.
Hit store.
Oh, it's
Blind. It's
yeah,
right
it's
here.
different. Yeah, and then see where it says 1.1 in the top right of your screen.
Top right. This.
Yep. So these are your pages. Go ahead and click into that. So what you are doing is you are taking a snapshot of this screen or all of your screens, so you can actually delete this window and like completely clear it out, and then you can click on this and it will recall from it. So we'll call this main. And notice you are on screen 2. This is laid out in the orientation of the console. So screen 1 would actually be by where the keyboard is on the console.
Okay.
Like the calculator will be right next to that screen, and then screen 2 is directly above. Screen 3 and 4 are going to the left. Screen 5 and 6 are external monitor options, which you typically do not have.
Donut.
Donut, yeah, I know. So we can hit please.
Okay.
And there you go. So for example, click on the yellow ball, any of the yellow balls on the screen. You can exit out of that. Yep. And then hit delete window. And then click on an empty tile. And then hit clear screen. So then, yeah,
So
you're
I
gonna
can just
yep,
click that.
and that's all back.
Convenient.
Yeah, it's very nice. And as you get more, like deeper and deeper into programming, you will be constantly switching screens. Like uh, when I did,
I'm gonna test something real quick.
okay,
That's fine. So,
yeah. So like
well,
on some like
I'm.
the bigger gigs, like I'll have
Oh, wait, hang on.
all the screens full of stuff, and I'll be like constantly switching, and I'm running out of screen real estate and screen like uh I guess they're like screen presets, I guess, that you're making.
Right.
Josh Smith. Hey, we have another Josh in here. External. I would need to add an MA on PC session to add more than 6 monitors. Is that correct?
So he's like asking, would you have to like?
Add
So
a
like how?
console.
Um, not at a console necessarily, but he's asking like if you want to
If you want
have
access to
those
all 6.
extra
So
2 screens, right?
maximize your screen too real quick. Notice in the top right of your screen it says external 1, external 2. That
Mhm.
is 5 and 6.
Right.
So
He's
you
asking though, like if you, in order to add those, do you need like a separate PC with
uh
MA2 on PC here, like to control those screens with
so
it running the MA screen and then linking through the network.
the full size consoles I know for sure have I think they're DisplayPort connections on the back of them, or it might be HDMI. I don't know, but they have connections to plug into external monitors. You don't need to run a separate system. I don't know about the smaller consoles. I think the MA Compact that I had over in my apartment not too long ago, I think that even had connections for external monitors.
So basically what you're saying is you don't have to run a separate like PC if they have the connections on the back.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. There you go. Let's go into positions. I feel like that's kind of the next step. How about you replace screen 3 with your MA3D view?
Okay.
You yeah.
MA3D and then
Kinda
we'll
slam it down there, and
slam
then
it down there.
you can like make the actual 3D session a little bigger if you want by closing out those little side screens. There we go. And then maybe move your fixtures up a little bit just so you can have a little more, like, see where the green arrow. Yeah.
Right. I just wanted to make sure they were all selected.
Yeah, it's fine. Maybe bring them down a little bit. That's a little much. All right, that's fine. Cool.
Okay.
So let's get into positions. So you have them all selected. Great, dandy.
Mhm.
Let's go at the top left of your command screen, or on the bottom of your screen 2. Screen 2 is actually more accurate to what your console will look like. So maybe it might be beneficial to start working there. Screen 1 or the command screen is just nice because it has everything there.
Right, because
Uh,
right here is where that screen is.
yeah, but screen 2 is if you're on an actual console that has, its own screens, like not a MAPC, um but a actual like, even MA compact that looks like screen 2.
Okay.
Like that is what you're looking at. So we go to positions, and you can see pan and tilt are kind of blued out. It means there's no active values in the programmer.
Right.
So in the command screen there, you have two encoder wheels.
Yeah, command screen, two encoder wheels. I know this
So
one,
that's a
right?
dimmer encoder wheel, but I'm looking at the ones in the top left.
Top
Those
left. Oh,
those little
these ones?
nubs, yeah, those are supposed to be encoder wheels.
Okay.
Give the tilt like a good slam in one direction.
Oh,
So notice how the values in those boxes just above the encoder wheels became red. That is because
yes.
now there's active data in the programmer and it's waiting to be stored. Right? So let's set a oh, and going up to down I think is like smaller adjustments. Yeah.
So
So
it's like pan and tilt fine. Like fine is up and down,
well, see, okay,
and
so
then there's
remember how
regular pan.
I was telling you about fan and tilt fine? So
Mm-hmm.
see where it says tilt and it's in red
Mm-hmm.
right there? Look over to the right there. It says normal, fine, and ultra. Those are your
Normal.
fine values.
Oh, okay, so I can do this,
So
and
see
then
how
it's gonna.
fine is yellow now, right? And now if you
Mm-hmm.
move that encoder wheel, it's going to move a lot slower. And then you can go to ultra
All
and get
right.
even more precise.
Okay. Oh wow, that barely moves when it's
Yep.
on ultra.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's the kind of precision you need,
Right.
right? So you can also type hard values in by clicking that window, which you just discovered.
Yeah, on accident.
And you can see the console when you go back into that menu. Uh, so you can get to that menu by clicking in on the encoder wheel or clicking the box that says tilt or pan or whatever it is for any of the, dimmer, position, gobo, colored, beam, focus, control, whatever it is. Sometimes if you have fixtures with shutters, you'll have a shaper tab. Um, and then if you are pixel mapping, you'll have a video tab. Um, if you're running a VPU through MA, which VPU stands for video processing units, you have that. But there's a whole bunch of stuff. Anyways, so the MA console, what it's going to every time you open up a menu, it's going to try to suggest quick actions, right? So it's saying minimum, center, and max, right?
Mm-hmm.
These
Decent.
are these are great for if you need to like do something really fast. It's not always ideal, but it can get you there sometimes. We're going to be exploring this menu a lot when we get into our gobos.
Okay.
But for now, why don't we do like a tilt of 50, 0, and -50. So first, yeah, let's do 50 first.
Okay.
And then hit enter, right? And then how about we store. Actually, let's do a full 90. Let's make it like really obvious. All right. And then store that into your first position pool.
Store. First position pool.
Huh? And then let's label that 90.
Okay. Do you want me to like uh put it like back 90?
Just
So
call it
that way I
90
know it's like
because your other one's going to be -90.
okay. I just figured that would be like a helpful reference to know which direction in case like you don't think about like you don't remember, not don't think.
Well, then yeah, sure. Then if that's what works best for you, then totally do that.
All right.
Back 90, and then let's do center or 0, right? Store.
Oop, store. And I can type store in, right? If I want to.
Um, yeah, you could
All right.
center.
So I
Yep,
could be like, and then we're gonna do -90, right?
sure, yeah.
and then type in door.
You're labeling a group.
I see that. Okay, I guess I can't do that. That's fine. I'll just click store and then boom.
There you go.
Watch. Might be.
Okay, so now triple clear out and see what happens.
Gonna reset them all.
Correct. So MA, the first clear is clearing your selection. The
Let's do
second
this just to highlight it.
the second clear is clearing your active values, and then your third clear is clearing your programmer.
What do you mean by active values?
So okay, so put everything at full.
Yep.
Clear once. You're no longer selecting the fixtures. Clear
Correct.
again. You might have to double tap clear. Yeah, okay, there it goes. Now your fixtures are turned off. If you clear one more time, it's going to clear anything that would be in the programmer, but there's nothing right now.
That's this?
Your programmer is labeled by anything that's highlighted in red. In most cases, that is rule of thumb. There's probably some spots where it's like, I mean, I haven't found every corner of the MA software yet, but I'm sure there's something that's in red that's not in the programmer. But anyways, so yeah, so now,
So it's those.
yes.
Okay.
And you can, if you click in see where your command line is, if you click on the yellow ball, it's going to tell you everything the console's seeing.
Okay, let's
right?
maximizing.
So like, theoretically, you can do everything you're doing here through macros.
Okay.
Right? If you really wanted to write an entire macro that builds a show file from scratch, yes, go nuts. But that sounds very tedious and something I do not have the time for.
Understandable.
Yeah, right? So now, well, why don't you make some pan attributes as well?
Okay, so select these, and then should just do 90s again.
Yeah, sure. You're going to want some tilt value as well within here, because if you just do pan only, without deselecting your tilt, which we'll get into later, you're not going to see the light moving.
Trippy. Let's do like 15.
I'm getting the flashbacks to the first time I ever opened the MA2 software. I like figured out by myself how to import some lights, and then I was just playing with the pan and tilt encoders. I didn't even know how to store pool items, and I was just like whipping them around, being like, "Yeah, I'm a lighting designer now."
I'm gonna do. I should probably put. I'm gonna rename these to back tilt 90, and then center tilt front tilt 90, and then this will be.
You don't have to store those in order. You can also like leave spaces. Like
Right.
what I do is I'll have like my positions pool, but I'll like space them out and make them into like miniature groups within the pools.
Yeah, so like instead I could have like put this one over here.
Yeah, so there's actually a move button right by where the
There
delete
is.
button is. Go 2 down from it.
Okay.
And then
So
just
I
click.
can do that.
Yep, and then click where you want it to be.
Okay. So that lets you space out and
Yeah, you can also mass select by saying move presets 2.1 through 2.3 at preset 2.9. I don't know. And then you
I
can
don't
like,
even see the preset button.
so preset, it's right by copy, which is by delete.
I see it.
Preset, dude, like 2.1, because remember, position is has a prefix of 2 numerically, and then
Oh,
through.
it didn't do anything. I need to do 2.1 like that.
Yeah, then through
Through
2.3,
2.3
and then say
at
preset
preset
17. Move it a full row down,
17,
please.
please.
And there you go. It just moved
Okay.
those 3 presets down.
I'm gonna move them back up because that's gonna bother me.
You just hit oops.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There you go.
Cool. Then for maximum thoroughness, -90. Not decimal. All right. Store. Boom. Center pan and right pan 90. Okay.
Cool. So, notice how there's something weird going on in these pools. See how there's like letters of different colors in the very middle of the black icon?
Yes. Let's
Okay.
maximize the screen.
Right. So, there are I think 4 um 4 different types. So there's so what you're hovering over, that is selective, which means it only applies to the lights that you selected. Okay?
Okay.
So what you just made will not work on any other light.
Yeah, so I can do, if I recenter everything. If I do a triple clear
Uh-huh.
and I do um let's say 106 through 110
Mhm.
and select only the right half of lights.
Yep.
If I hit full and then I
Yep.
hit right pan, it does not affect these. So then I can triple clear, right? Or double
Well,
clear
right
and
and
then do.
wrong. I mean, you have the idea. So I think you didn't quite get it. Um, so because you made those positions using only those fixtures, those positions are only going to respect those fixtures. That
Right.
being said, you can still divvy up those fixtures and say, hey, these, I don't know, 3 fixtures go to this preset, or even though it's made with that entire group, not all the lights have to go to it.
Right. And that's what I just did here with
Right. So
the
if we had a
left half
different, if
only.
we had more fixtures on here, say we had a different type or just more Smarties, but they weren't in this group that you made the movement with, they wouldn't move,
Right.
right?
Because these positions are only encoded to these lights.
To those 10 specific fixtures. Correct.
Okay.
Um, so as you just discovered there, you can say, hey, I want to select this half and I want it to go to this position and this half to go to this position, right? Moving up from there, we also have, so see in our colors, it has a G.
Right. That's
Those
global.
correct. So that means anything in our show file can be um, can take advantage of these presets that we've created, right? And just like before, you can select different sections and yeah, do what you just did,
Okay.
right? You can
So
split it up.
I was confused because by global, my thought is that it's gonna turn all these lights this color, but I understand it now.
It
It works for anything that has the option to go to these colors.
correct. It doesn't.
So
It's
if I
not like
had,
selective, right?
mhm. So if I had like another set of 10 Smarties behind these, I could have like selected those back here and used. I could have made these presets with these 10 lights and
Yep.
then continued to use these for the ones behind here. But
Yeah.
these, because they're selective, only works on these 10 lights.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. So so we have that, and then we also have universal. So global means that works with everything that's currently in the show file. Universal means it will work with literally anything, even if you add it into the show file afterwards.
Okay.
And I believe there's one more, but it's escaping me right now. But if we come across it, I'll point it out.
Okay. Quick question for you.
Uh-huh.
What does this number mean? Is it just the number of lights that are
Yep.
currently being
Yep.
affecting?
So
Okay.
that is telling you the amount of fixtures that is being activated by that current preset. So you can see it's also on your colors,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's a quick, easy way to see, oh, how many fixtures my rig is taking advantage of this pool preset. Oh, okay. That's how many.
Okay.
Right? Pretty cool stuff. Selective, we already went over selective.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so now here's another question. So if you go ahead and double click on any of your position presets that you made. So because those are selective effects, if you now hit highlight, you will notice it has selected your fixtures and move them into position.
Okay.
You can only do that with selective um, tools or effects or whatever. Anything
So
selective, you double click it and it will call it up.
so with that little shortcut, essentially, because these were done with all 10 of these lights, it will
They
do all 10 of them. It won't do exclusively like half.
correct. Yep.
Okay.
Whatever's in that selection, whenever you make that.
So if I want to do half, I specifically have to state, "Hey, I'm using the right half, and we're gonna put them to the
Yep.
right."
Yeah, and
Okay.
if you double click any of those, it will call up everything associated with it. You might have to clear out to make it do the thing. Yep.
Why did the right half of lights act weird there?
Because you had them selected before and you called it up as they're resetting back to their home position.
Okay.
Um, think about it. It's what you're looking at is basically a simulator, right? So it is doing
Right.
its best to replicate what these fixtures would be doing in real life. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good.
Okay. What happens? Okay, so this is a question for you.
Uh
So I can left click these, and
huh.
it turns all the lights on, but it doesn't move them. Why is that?
So the first click is making your selection, and the second click is activating the actual pool icon. So you can notice
So
like when you look in there, it doesn't have a number in it because there's no active values in it. It's just selected.
right. So if I immediately click this, it doesn't do anything.
Correct.
So I would have to, in order for that to work, I have to specifically click that and then click that.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you
why
have
did it do?
because you
Oh,
had
because I
all
have
your
them all.
fixtures. Yep.
Okay, I see. Okay, that makes sense.
So one more thing before we move on from positions. Um, so you figured out how to store pan and tilt values together, but there's a way to store them separately so you can edit them independently just by tapping a pool icon. So let's show you how to do that.
Hold up, hang on. Back up a second. You
Mhm.
lost me.
Okay, where did I lose you?
Uh, the whole thing. Like, what is it that you're trying to teach me again?
Okay, so right now you have both. So double click on one of your positions that you have set. It doesn't matter
Okay,
which one.
we'll do this one.
Okay, on so notice how your pan and tilt values are red.
Yes.
That means they are both
Oh,
active in the programmer and they have to work together
okay.
because of the way you stored it. Well,
Okay.
there's a way to only have one or the other stored instead of because and like this one, you only edited the tilt, but it still stored the pan value,
Yep.
right?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So one of the methods for making positions is I'll store my pan and tilt values independently from each other. Like if I'm working with a client, like okay, so I did these dance shows a couple months ago,
Mhm.
and I made these like preset positions, and I had the dance instructor standing next to me, and instead of like manually going through and adjusting each light, I said, "Hey, I've made these positions. Choose what you like." So I'll go, "Okay, how high do you want it? Okay, how far left to right or fanned out or fanned in do you want it?"
Okay,
Right?
and then you can combine those two in order to specifically get it. Like, let's say
Yeah.
I can effectively only do these tilts.
Hmm.
Like if I go to this one, it's going to automatically reset that tilt. It doesn't just automatically keep that tilt.
Correct.
Even if this one didn't have any.
Well, because yeah, yeah, it had new information, right? So
Mhm.
anytime you call up new information, it's going to overwrite old information immediately.
Right.
And MA is smart enough so when we get into like making like a very simple color picker for a live environment, you'll see the console is smart enough to know, hey, I'm changing colors. These values are no longer going to be used. So we're going to deselect this, and now we're going to focus on the new selection.
Okay.
So let's uh let's go to your center tilt.
Center tilt.
That is basically that is your home value, right? Zero
Mhm.
pan, zero tilt. So
Okay.
let's go ahead. Actually, yeah, okay. So let's tilt. Uh, let's go back up to a straight 90.
Straight 90. So like this
There you go.
or like this.
Yeah, either one doesn't matter,
Okay.
right? And then what you're going to do is on your command screen there's a button that says off. Okay, it's on the far left side of all the buttons. Um, uh,
Like this side.
yeah, yeah, and then go up towards the top to your right. You just had your mouse over it.
This one.
Yep, the one that says
Okay.
off. All
Okay.
right, click that, and then
Okay.
click on your pan value. Notice how
Okay.
it's no longer red.
Hmm.
Now
Now, does
store.
that? Oh, I was literally just about to say, does that affect this one?
No, you
Okay.
are making at this point. It would only affect it. So um, if you were to hit store again,
Let me name this real quick.
sure, front tilts. Okay, so hit store again,
There.
and then store over front tilt 90.
This one?
No, the one above it.
Oh no, this one.
Yep. Notice how it gives you options to overwrite, merge, or remove.
Okay.
Overwrite will do exactly as it says. It'll overwrite. Merge will take any pre-existing values that have been edited and change them to the new ones, or add new values. And
Okay.
then remove will subtract.
So, okay, let me see if I'm following. So if I let's just create so this is still correct. Let's just store a second one of these, which
That it.
oh
So
shoot.
you
That
put that
was
in
in
your
Beam.
beam. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you can't store different preset types and different preset pools.
I realized what I did. That's my bad. So if I hit store and just like plop it down here,
Yep.
um, then if I do this, which turns the pan back on,
Uh huh.
and we'll just do it. That's fine. Um, I hit store and go over this. Overwrite would make it so then this new set of pan and tilt values, which I can't see them anymore, but that's fine, would take this square.
Yep.
Merge would put the value for the pan in, and it would probably keep the tilt value, correct?
Yeah, because you have not changed the tilt value.
Okay. And if I had changed the tilt value, would it
It
put
would
that
update
in?
it. Yep.
Okay. And then remove would do it would take this 90 so away, so it would put it back down to 0, correct?
I believe so. Remove is a little strange. Oh,
Oh,
it just deleted it.
interesting.
Yeah. So, well, I guess that makes sense because you had both pan and tilt values stored in there, and since you're removing pan and tilt values, it removed both of them, so it became a absent preset.
Oh, okay.
So yes,
So just for consistency's sake.
you're not going to be
In
able to make a good example out of where you're at now. You would
Okay, I mean,
it would make more sense in like a queue stack or something where you had multiple layers of things.
so my thought process. What? Why is this why is it not doing anything? Okay. So we're gonna tilt these back over. Oh, that was a bit further than I meant to. Gosh dang it. That's good. Store. This is what I was like thinking, right? I could do this, and then hit store, and then do this, and then remove. and it
Clear out.
maint- maintained the 90. Oh wait, yeah.
Yep. So it took out your pan value.
Why did it take out my pan value though? Because this was the tilt only.
Enable your tilt.
Enable my tilt. This one.
Yep. And then what happened was you tilted it, right? But your tilt was no longer in the programmer. It wasn't red anymore. The box wasn't red.
Okay.
So basically you deactivate it. So if you click on your tilt, but the thingy by the encoder wheels.
This one.
Yeah, and then hit deactivate. That is what you had pulled up. See how the box is blue, or like it's like a dark blue with like red text?
Mm-hmm.
That is no longer in the programmer.
Okay.
It's active. That's what the red text means. It's active, but it's not in the programmer.
I'm not following. This is probably a little bit too much for me. You're right.
It's no. This is stuff you have to understand. Because this is the basics of storing in MA.
Okay.
The red text in that tilt, it means the value is active. So the pan value, it also has red text. Those values are active. You can see it, right? In the MA3D screen. You can see that it is
Oh.
panned and tilt. But
Okay, so
when
this is saying
but
instead of like
it's not
like,
recording.
ignoring this. Okay.
It's not
Okay.
recording the tilt value because that box isn't red.
Okay. I
Right.
think I'm following.
So if you restore this right now, it would only store a pan value.
So if I hit store here,
Yep.
this is and clear out just to, and it doesn't look like it does anything because pan without tilt doesn't do anything.
Yeah. So
Okay.
now if you tilt up, you can see they're all sideways.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So what's
I'm still confused as to how remove works, but we can get into that later.
Okay, yeah, we'll touch back on it later.
Okay.
So let's move that tilt only 90 to the top row and like give it a little space from the rest.
To the top row and give it a little space from the rest. So just do
Hello.
this. So when I move and do multiple, do I have to type it in?
We're only going to move that one that you just made.
Okay. So you want me to like kind of put it here?
Sure. Right. Now make a tilt only for center and a tilt only for -90.
Okay. So I'm gonna put
Or I guess it'd be +90 now.
that off. Tilt center. And then off the pan
Mm-hmm.
door.
So something you have to keep in mind every time you edit a pan or tilt value, it's going to enable both pan and tilt because technically you're editing that entire preset.
Hold up, say that again.
So every time you edit, so what you just did is you tried to off your pan value and then you edited your tilt value and then it re-enabled pan. Off has to be your last step before storing.
But
So
it says it's off.
Yeah, no, you fixed it. What you did is you offed your pan, then you tilted it, and then you offed your pan again because you noticed your pan was active in the programmer.
Oh, I don't even remember turning it back off again.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, you stored that. Now let's do one more for your +90.
Center tilt. Oh my. And then +90
Yep.
would be bop. And then turn off. Store. Back. Tilt. Only 90.
There you go.
Okay. Now should I do this with pan as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a left, center, and right.
Okay. So should I go full 90?
Sure. Yeah, make it go crazy. Make it really obvious.
Okay. I'm gonna turn this off. Store.
I would put it underneath, just for
Underneath.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't do that. I have to hit
Oh, no,
delete.
no.
Oh, wait,
Oops.
I could
Oops.
have.
That. Yep.
Yeah, I could have moved. Move, boop, to boop,
There
and
you
then
go.
do uh left and only 90. We're gonna center that. Turn tilt back off. Store. Um, enter pan only,
Mm-hmm.
and then do -90 and do. I got the directions right on that, right?
Yep.
With positive and okay,
I think so. I didn't. I don't remember what you did for the first one, but we're about to find out.
that's fine. Do right pan only 90. So I can do like this real quick.
So now you can independently move those values from each other and see how they both have a 10 on them.
Mhm.
So they're both acting independently of each other. So you have your pan column and your tilt column.
That's a bit
And
trippy. Doing my right one with a front tilt puts them to the left.
yep.
But that's probably because of 90 degrees. They're perfectly turned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
So what's tilt center? Or
Okay.
sorry, it's tilt forward and then pan center. So you understand that concept now. Now you have
Mhm.
a way to do that. Let's actually tilt your fixtures down just a smidge, so that like a 45 degree. You can also type in -45,
Yeah, that's what I was about to do.
and then make that a tilt only as well,
Okay.
just for convenience sake.
Off pan off. Uh,
You discovered the off
off.
window.
Yeah, on accident. Okay. Hold up.
Restarting this.
Tilt. -45.
Yep.
Off pan store. I'm gonna put it here.
Yeah, it's called 45 front.
45 front. I'm gonna put tilt in there.
All right, cool. So while we're here,
Okay.
what's I'm gonna show you something cool. All right, so go to the left side of your screen there, on the command wing. Okay, and see where it says a matrix.
Yes.
Now to the left of that, it says align.
Darn.
Dun dun dun. Click
I got
it.
excited.
All right, so these are different align modes. Okay, so what you're seeing is aligned from left going right, and then right going left, and then you have
Okay.
inside to outside, then you have outside to inside. So the one that's probably
Okay.
going to make you the most exciting is inside
This
from
one.
outside. Yep. And now move your pan value. No, not there.
Just move it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yep. So now go to type in a value on your pan value. Let's break down what's going on here. So what it's
I
saying
can kind
is,
of figure it out already.
yeah, so
Okay.
it's giving you a start end value and then it's fading in between.
Okay.
But you can also do like I don't know, if you want something weird, you can have more than one through statement. So you can say you can have three numbers in there instead of just two.
So let's
Do like
do
100 or something. I don't know. Hit please. So
weird.
it
Okay,
looks
how does
strange.
that work?
There are instances where it's going to work out to do something like that. Um, like okay, it would work better. So put your pan values at a at 0.
Put this to the center.
Okay, go to your tilt. Yep, and then go -100 through 0 through 100.
Through 0 through 100. Oop, that's 1,000.
Or actually do negative 100 for the last number on your
Nope,
tilt.
wrong thing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to type in the 0 through negative 100 again.
Through 0 through negative 100.
Yeah.
Negative. Oh shit! I had through negative 100.
There you go. Now you have this like sine
Okay.
wave looking thing.
Okay,
That's
I was
just
about to say. So it kind of like evenly divides them into like two separate groups. So like this left half is going to be the first through statement, which doesn't show here.
yeah.
Um, so that's gonna be your negative 100 through 0.
Yep.
So that boom stops right here, and then the second half, which isn't shown, which is
Mhm.
0 through negative 100, is this other half.
Yep. That's
So does
exactly what it
that
is.
works? I assume left to right.
Yeah. Oh, it
Okay.
not necessarily. It's based off of selection order. So
Interesting.
here's something that's pretty wild. Clear out your selection. Okay.
Okay.
Now on your MA3D screen, just you can select fixtures by dragging a box over them. Do a random order, just selecting them one by one. Oh, you might have to hold down like shift or something like that.
Oh, okay. I hope you're remembering this order because I'm not.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
Boom.
You can store that in a group if you want, just
Okay,
so we
so
have a point to prove later down the
store.
road. Yeah, call that like a random
Yeah.
smarty. All right, now in the tilt value, type in the same equation that we typed in before.
Okay, that's wild.
So it's based off of selection order.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you think about it, right? So the two that are sticking straight out would be your end pieces,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then the
Oh, this one, this one, this one.
yeah, there's
And
gonna be two
I did
pointed
like one of
straight
these
down.
too.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. So everything in MA is based off of selection order. Selection order MA is huge. I'm going to be repeating that a lot.
Okay.
All right, so keep that in mind. That is going to be a big thing to think about whenever we're making effects.
All right.
So
So clear out of this probably.
yeah, so I feel like you have a decent understanding of movements at this point. I showed you how to align. Um, I showed you
Which
how.
real quick, um,
You
why
go
can't
to
you?
try out the different align modes. You'll see what's going on. So select your all group for your
Okay,
Smarties.
real quick. This is gonna be a stupid question,
Okay.
but so the only way that like if I click it, it cycles,
Yep.
right? But I have to like click and hold and drag down. Is that how that's supposed to be? Like,
Yeah. So that's a shortcut on the console. Is um if you tap and pull down, it will hold or pull down a menu. So something that's interesting. So click out of that menu real quick. See how there's a little shark fin on that menu?
let's do this.
See that
Yeah.
little shark fin? Any
Mhm.
menu you see have a shark fin like that, it means there's a drop down or more menus behind, right? So if you select your Smarties and then go into like I don't know, beam top. See how there's a shark fin there,
Yes.
right? So click that, and now you have different beams, right? So you have shutter, beam, and
Okay.
effect.
And that's so how what does the little triangle mean?
Of
Does it just mean that it'll cycle
yeah,
as you
you'll cycle.
Okay, and then what about this? Like the
A matrix that's going to open a new window.
Okay. So I'm just gonna click it just a bit of
Yeah,
a show. Okay. Simple.
pretty cool stuff there. Yeah. I need to take a bathroom break.
Okay.
But if you want to say hi to the people in the audience, um, by all means, people in chat, say hi to Josh for all those new people in here. Um,
Hello.
giving him a little MA2 crash course. And by the way, if y'all in chat have questions as well about anything MA related, it doesn't even have to be what we're talking about necessarily right now. Please feel free to ask away, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. I'm going to step away real quick and take a little bathroom break, so I'll be back. Josh, you want to keep exploring? Have
Okay,
fun.
I can do that. So I really enjoy doing stuff with gobos. Gobos are a lot of fun. So I am going to kind of just, why is this? Oh, it's because I'm not in position. So I'm gonna just kind of tilt this down, and I'm just gonna do this. So a little bit of a context. I had messed with gobos before. I did learn a little bit of MA, as he stated at the start of the stream. So I'm still kind of learning. How do I change? I think it's in this screen. How do I change the effect? It's this one. No, it's not. Uh, uh, is it this one? No. Kobo 2? No. Oh, it's that. Okay. So we can do stars, right? Why not do stars? Why is it not showing? Hello? Okay. We're gonna clear out. Pick those. Pick that. Okay. Why isn't it doing that now? My colors are broken. Oh no. At least my pan and tilt values still work. Boop. Boop. Position. Dupe. Gobo. Okay. Oh, there's a car alarm going off. Is it because I don't have that up? No.
Check your highlight.
Check my highlight. The ghost of MA is telling me to check my highlight. I must oblige.
Now hit full. Just once.
Ah, okay.
Your highlight toggles engaged. Yes, even chat called it out.
Oh, I wasn't looking at that. I'm so sorry. I'm bad at looking at chat.
They just said it as I said
Okay.
it.
So I think Gobos is something I want to do next, if that's fine with you.
Yeah, sure. I think it's a good idea. Let me
All right.
stop choking on my cracker I just ate.
Yeah, that's generally not considered good for your health, so I would advise against choking on that.
I appreciate your feedback. I'll
You're
consider it.
welcome. Damn, work's really that bad? It's an
You know,
anti-work joke.
playing with lights is just the worst. Oh, let's get a sip of water in here.
Speaking of which, I might have to take a small break and grab some water as well. My throat's kind of getting dry.
Yeah, go do that, and then we'll jump into Gobos.
Okay. I'll be back.
How we doing, people in chat? Y'all surviving? Y'all enjoying it? Got any questions? You wanna talk about life? I don't know. Don't ask me about life. We don't talk about that. Yo, Ritz crackers are like the ultimate snack. I just went and like grabbed like a tube of them. I am. This is hitting the spot for me right now. This is it. pretty good.
Double time.
Gobo time. Oh snap.
It's my favorite time.
It's Gobo time.
So I kind of figured a little bit out. So
Mhm.
it took me a second to figure out where the gobos are, and it's just down here. Which I also kind of went into here. I don't understand the difference between Gobo 1 and Gobo 2, but
So
I do know that there's like different Gobos and stuff for something
so
like that.
these so these fixtures have two Gobo wheels in them. So you can have two Gobos on at the same time.
Oh,
That's what
oh,
Gobo 1
okay,
and Gobo
okay.
2 is.
So if I want to, I have a star on right now, and if I do like this, it should add that effect to,
Yeah, make them white. Red's kind of hard to see.
yeah.
Yeah, so you can see both Gobos at the same time.
Okay, that's kind of sick. Is there a way that you can kind of be like halfway in between Gobos? Just kind of like,
On some fixtures, some allow it. If you use the scroll wheel, the encoder, you can kind of like get halfway in between. It
on the
varies from fixture.
encoder.
Where it says G1
This
there.
one?
Yeah.
Oh no, it just automatically swaps.
Yeah, some fixtures allow it, some don't.
Okay, so these ones just don't.
Hmm?
Holy shit.
Uh,
Gobos are fun.
what you're
Where's the
doing there.
skinny one? Oh, what am
So
I doing there?
yeah,
Oh,
so
is
what you're
that's
doing? So that's the preset. So those little arrows there, it's basically rotating through all the gobos.
oh, and then that changes the direction.
Uh-huh. You can change the speed by adjusting the encoder wheel.
Adjusting the encoder wheel, like,
Yep.
oh, that's changing the gobo. So
Oh
like
no,
this.
it's the speed of it changing the gobo wheel. Yeah, so you can see it's shuffling through.
Okay. Interesting. And then this lets me affect the other gobo, right? No. What does this do?
So let's clear out and let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Let's give our fixtures some intensity.
So this, and then how do you give
Or
them
hit
some
full.
intensity? Hit full.
There you go. So let's go into our gobo one. All right.
Okay.
So notice some of the gobos have stars next to them.
Yes.
Those starred gobos are what are going to allow you to rotate them.
Okay.
So select the
So
one with the
like
star
this one.
and see how it says.
Oh my god.
Now,
Windows.
see how G1 and it has like the carrots on it? It says
Mhm.
0. Give that a little. Oomph.
Oh. Okay. And then negative would change the direction.
Yeah, so I believe it's between 70 or it's between 50 and 100, 75 being 0 for a stop rotation. So if you had a specific gobo and you wanted it to be positioned stationary at a specific angle, anywhere from 0 to 50, you can rotate it and it won't keep rotating, but anything 50 to 100, it'll keep rotating with the exception of 75, which it would be in the middle.
Okay. So anything above 75 is going the other direction.
Correct.
Okay. And then anything below, you said it was 50?
Becomes a stationary gobo after you stop moving the encoder wheel. What's up, B Dubs?
hang on. So
Give it a shot. You'll see what I mean. So if you put it at 75,
I put it at 50.
okay, so that's max clockwise. You see it says it's labeled there.
Mhm.
Put it at 75, it's going to say
So
0
okay, so this lets you change the orientation of it without it rotating, and then 50 to 75 is your
clockwise.
rotate like constant rotation, and that's variable speed. 75 is stopped, and then 76 to 100 is your speed
Counterclockwise.
for the other direction. Okay,
Yep. Yep.
understood.
You got it.
Gotcha.
Um,
I'm a smart boy.
I believe the second gobo wheel does not have the rotating aspects of it.
So if
Uh,
I do Gobo
yeah.
2,
Yeah, there's no
and
rotating
then
thingy.
well, it's because didn't have a Gobo selected.
There's still no rotating thingy.
Wah.
You see, the menu isn't there.
Yeah. Okay.
You can still apply the gobo, it just won't spin.
That's sad.
Well, get some Proteus Maximus. I don't tell you.
Okay. I can do that.
I don't
Hold
think
up.
that Proteus Maximus actually properly displays in the MA3D software. Let's
We
just
can
hold
test
on.
it though.
Let's just stick with the 10 lights for now because it's going to get a
Okay.
lot more complicated here pretty soon.
Okay. Fucking Windows. All right.
All right, so that is pretty much all there is to gobos.
Damn, that's kind of
That's
boring actually.
yeah. I mean, you can store gobos into your pools there, right?
Right, if I do
So like,
will it store the color with them?
no, because that is a gobo preset pool, so it only store gobo values.
Okay, is there a way to store a Gobo with a preset, like color? So let's say I want to do fucking I don't know, this Gobo right here, right?
Yep.
And I want to take this Gobo off. Okay. So I have this weird lines thingy going on here, and I want it to be green. Is there a way that I can store that as a combination? Is
So
that under all?
that yeah, exactly. That's why we have that all. So if you have complex looks that you have made and you want to save it, you don't want to put it in a queue, you put in that all, and you double click that, it will call it up.
Yeah.
You don't even have to
Hit
enable
pull.
and yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so that takes everything that's in the programmer and it will shove it in that little box.
Okay, that's convenient.
Yep.
So
It, it's
I'm gonna get rid of that.
it's great like if I have a client or something and I've just we've just finished building the rig and we go, "Hey, look what we did." We could just pull up from this all pool
Okay.
and they could be like, "I love it," or, "I hate it. Take it all down, do it all over again," whatever.
Great. I had a brain fart because I couldn't read it because it was so small. I thought it said 11. I was like, huh?
You have a ghost fixture.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
That'd be great.
So Gobo's done.
That was done.
So that
That
let's make a
well,
Gobo preset real quick.
yeah, let's make a couple actually.
Okay. So I'm gonna delete this all. And then we'll do
So the first Gobo preset you're gonna want to make, go to your Gobo 1. Let's not focus on Gobo 2 at all. For the
okay.
most part, you never really use Gobo 2 unless you're really looking for something specific. But Gobo 1 typically gets the job done. First thing
Okay,
you want to
real
do
quick.
is you want to make an open.
Okay. Open.
That is important. You need a way to get rid of your Gobo. And you can
Okay.
remember you can just bring up your command overlay. You don't have to keep minimizing it every time you want to store
Right.
something.
I do have one question.
Yes.
Um, what is the difference between Gobo Open and Open 2?
I couldn't tell you. As far
It
as I'm
looks
concerned, they do the same thing.
it looks exactly the same, so we're just gonna go with that.
Gobo 2 is probably just a free spot in the Gobo wheel for you to put your own custom Gobo in.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. By the way, you can
Open.
when you actually have these lights in person, you can replace each Gobo with a new one if you're
Okay.
liking.
That's pretty cool. So we're gonna make this preset. We're gonna turn it back to white. even though it won't store.
Yep.
I'm gonna set it to store gobo,
Mhm.
and we're just gonna call that. It's already titled open, but I
Yeah,
capitalization.
the gobos will label themselves.
Okay, so gobo open.
We go ahead and make like I don't know 3 different gobos.
Why is it white here?
It's just showing that it's open. If you have a gobo, it'll show the image of the gobo.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like color. I was like, you lied to me.
No.
Um, so we'll do another gobo, and I want to do this one
Yeah,
with
pick all the ones with the asterisks on them.
the
And
spinny boys.
let's not store spinny. Let's store spinny separately.
Okay, off.
There you go.
Uh, store
Yep.
just for good measure. Store. And we're gonna
He's
do.
already dead. No.
What do you mean he's already dead? What
The
happened?
the gobo rotate was already off, and you just offed it on top of it.
Oh, listen, it's called insurance, all right.
It's like
We'll
the
call this.
that Simpsons meme. He's like, oh, he's already
Oh, he's
dead.
already dead. Yeah,
And he's like still kicking him.
we'll call this spiral,
Sure.
even though it's not really a spiral.
Yeah, and give me 2 more.
Give me two more. Do you want me to do like a? Okay, so here's another question. So
Mhm.
because certain gobos, right, have different, like some of these can spin and other ones can't. So this one can't spin,
Yep.
right? But this one and this one and this one and this one and this one can.
Hmm.
So if can I store I didn't mean to minimize out of that. Can I store um like a spin property separately
That's
still?
exactly what we're gonna do.
So I can shut this off and then set this to be like 100
Hmm.
and then hit store, boom.
Yeah. So now if you I mean you're gonna have to because right now it's
Yeah.
already on. It's already spinning. So if you enable gobo, it's just gonna start spinning.
Okay. Which
But
will shut that off and then store all that one. Is that that's the
yeah, it's the
exact same
exact same one.
Robo just for
Yeah.
okay.
You
We're
really
gonna
like that one apparently, like self consciously.
I
You're
okay, no,
like, yes, that one, the
my
spirals.
I was like, star because it had a star here. Oh, okay. I didn't even notice this. So there's this one that's non-spinning and this one that is spinning. It's
Yep.
the like basically every single one of these has a spinning counterpart with the exception of this one.
Yeah, and I don't really
It's
know
kind
why
of
they
weird.
do that because to me they serve the same purpose, so why not make them all spin?
Right.
I don't know. It's just the way this light is made.
Oh no, this one even also has it. I didn't even notice that one.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. So let's actually what okay, here's a question for you. If I do move and then onto here, it just adds that to the pool of
Yeah,
things
so
to
now if
move.
you click somewhere else, it'll move both of them together.
Okay. Is there a way that I can merge like I can do that merge thing or remove?
I mean, you just double click to select and activate, and then
Okay.
store and then merge.
Okay. I just didn't know whether there's a shorthand way to do that. So we're gonna
And
overwrite that. That didn't do what I wanted it to. You know what? This is fine. We'll just delete that because I want just those spinny boys. So we'll call this spiral again. I don't think I spelled that right, but I don't care.
it looks right.
Um, Close enough.
Yeah.
We will also do. Was that the correct one? Is that the spinny boy? Oh, I put it on stop. Okay, yeah, that is a spinny boy. Um, we'll do this one. Call it. It is off already, but just to be safe, we'll call this one uh lines. I'm also gonna get rid of this one because I don't remember what that one is. And then we'll do a triangle. Store, boop, triangle. Okay, so that's 3 more.
All right, cool. Now make them spin.
Make them spin. So I'm gonna do this by shutting it off.
Yep.
I don't want it to be like super fast. I also, real quick, just for context purposes, I'm gonna put the triangle on.
Hmm?
I'm gonna put 50 just so I can kind of see. So that's counterclockwise. So 50 to 75 or 74 is counterclockwise. 76 to 100 is clockwise.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna shorthand that. So we're gonna do like 62 because that's roughly halfway.
All right.
And then I'm gonna shut this off.
Yep.
Store. I'm gonna call it half
You can just call it.
counterclockwise.
Yeah, you just call it clockwise.
Okay. I mean, I was just thinking like half speed counterclockwise.
If you're just doing like counterclockwise, stopped and counterclockwise,
Okay.
then it doesn't really matter. CW is the abbreviation for clockwise, by the way.
Oh, okay. I didn't think about that. That is counterclockwise, though, right?
That is clockwise.
That is counterclockwise.
Um, well, technically, from our perspective, yes, but the lights are technically backwards. If
Oh,
you
wait.
if you tilt them positive, they tilt forward us or towards us. So technically, we're
Okay.
yeah,
So I'm technically backwards when I say front tilt here.
technically
So this
yes.
is this would be backstage.
It at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's
Mhm.
all based off perspective. If this is the perspective that you are programming from, great. But as far as what the console was telling you originally, like if you put those back to center tilt, and then just to prove my point, go into the rotation menu.
Here.
No, that's undo.
Okay. I'm gonna max this.
Rotation menu in MA, not 3D.
Oh.
For the gobos.
Good. Oh, fuck. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's going to shit. It's
Just
not fine.
yes.
Rotation menu.
Yeah. Click that.
Okay.
Do max clockwise. Tell me what direction they're spinning in.
Nowhere.
What the fuck? Why did it stop?
I
Hello?
don't know. It says 50.
Bump it to like 51.
Okay, they're spinning counterclockwise.
Yeah. The console thinks
Okay.
it's clockwise.
Okay, so we'll just call it clockwise then. And then we'll do a stop, so 75.
Yeah, you can also say 0,
Okay.
which was in there as a keyword. But yeah.
It was?
Huh?
Oh, right there. Okay.
Or stop, I
Mm,
guess, yeah.
It was stop in there?
Mhm.
Oh, it's right there. Okay. Off store. Stop. Stop. And then we'll do math 87 and store. And I call that CC for counterclockwise. So now if I do triangle or lines or spiral, and I can swap between these two
Mhm.
and kind of like, okay,
There you go. Would you look at that?
interdesting. And if I want to, because these are all values that are stored as a gobo instead of like, so like the reason you have to go for all is because these are in different things. So if I want to do something that's a white front tilt with a spiral going counterclockwise, I have to use all. But because this is a value that's stored on our gobo, I can store this and like this. So like, let's say I want to store this, for example. I can do this and then that, which is, I'm assuming, something you wouldn't ever really do, but I could do that.
Oh, you could
And
totally do that. It saves time, right? If that's a look you're gonna be using often, totally do that.
okay, so you do like that.
Yeah, there you go.
I have
And
that backwards.
notice how the um that number 10 there, it shows you the amount of fixtures. It's no
Mhm.
longer on your gobos and your rotation. They both move there. It's because both values are being used there.
Okay, so if I do this and then do this, it's gonna stop spinning.
No, because you're still taking the rotation
Oh,
value.
okay. Okay, no, I see. All right, and it's until I do this.
Uh-huh. There you go.
Okay, I see. All
Now
right.
now it's starting to click for you how the console thinks and
Mm-hmm.
understands, right? It's a very simple language. It's actually, I think I could arguably say it is so basic people actually have a hard time understanding it because they complicate it.
Right. You automatically think that it's gonna be something super intense and
But it's
like
just
really
not.
complicated, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's like some of the most basic logic ever.
Yeah,
Okay.
right? This
All
is what I
right.
was saying, like when I tell you like, oh yeah, I'm programming a show, I'm not actually like coding.
Right.
You know,
You're
I'm just
setting up
I'm doing basic
preset.
math over and over again.
Yeah, you're doing presets so then you can like call on them whenever you want. So you can be
Yeah.
like, oh, triangle counterclockwise at a left pan of 90 degrees, and then I want a front tilt. Woo.
Yeah, right?
And then
And
I no longer want the gobos.
and you do not run your show from this view. This is my all we're doing here is we're prepping to program for the show.
Okay. So then I don't fully understand how like these help you translate into the show, but I guess we'll get into that later when it comes to like making a show.
Imagine this. You get booked a gig, but you don't really know what the client wants.
Mhm.
Well, ahead of time, you go through and you make a bunch of presets. Well, you know you're gonna want these colors. You know you're probably gonna want these gobos, right? You're gonna want them to zoom in and out, which you're gonna get to. Positions you'll probably wait to do till you're on site. But then once you get to site, you go, "Hey, client, what do you want?" And they go, oh, "I want something that looks like this." You go, "Well, I have presets built for that." Bam, bam, bam. So we're putting in the time now, so it's faster later when we're actually programming the light show.
Okay. So I mean, I kind of understand that because like you talked yesterday about how you pre-address your shows
Uh
with
huh.
the company you work for. I don't know whether you've stated what company you work for, so I'm not gonna say that.
No, that's good.
um, but you pre-address them, so you're also doing all like your gobos, your colors, and like setting up your groups ahead of time, and you leave the positions for that. I can kind of like put two and two together for that,
Yeah.
but what it comes to is I don't understand what the presets are for and how you use the presets inside like the show.
So imagine a hierarchy, okay?
Okay.
And the very fundamental foundation of it is presets. But it's like every
O-
time we see a light show, it's calling from these presets, okay? I want these lights to be blue, it's calling from your color preset. I want these gobos to be activated and it's spinning, call from the gobo preset, right? You
Okay.
can call directly from the uh that little row says like dimmer position, gobo, etc., right? You
Right.
can
Down
call directly from there, but it's something you're going to be using a lot. It's just easier to have a preset built, so you instead of making that look every single time, like this gobo look, right? Just to have it spinning in this direction at this speed with this specific gobo, it's a lot faster than to have a button there for you that does it all in one click rather than four or five.
here. Okay. So instead of like, I'm thinking about this way too like broadly because my thought process was initially that you just go in here and like click boop 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 as you want stuff, right?
Yeah.
But what you're saying is like there's stuff that you just do on the console like right here and it immediately, oh, you want to do this preset and this preset and this preset and this preset.
Yeah. So like think about it. Let's say, all right, let's clear the programmer. I'm gonna make you sit through this so you understand it.
Okay.
Turn on all the lights.
No. Um,
You didn't select your group.
so I do have to click this to select group.
Or you know what? That's a preset actually. So
Yeah.
yeah, right. So you'd say 101 through 110, right? I
Oh
guess.
yeah. 101 through 110. Forgot
Okay.
about that.
Now I want you to turn them on.
uh, full.
Yep. Now without using the anything on screen 2, I want you to make
Okay.
them red.
So I would do
You have to go
preset.
nope, 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 because your presets don't exist. We're imagining your presets don't exist. So oops out of that. Say oops once. Go to the top of your screen that you're on now. Do your
Okay.
colors. The color
Uh,
presets. All your
oh,
presets
this
over
one.
there. There you go. Color.
Let's go. Color.
Special dialogue.
Special dialogue.
Now make them red.
Make them red. You.
Now, because it's Christmas, I want the stage right side to be green.
Okay. So I do stage right, and then color. Special dialogue. Green.
Yep.
Okay.
Now I want them tilted out at a 45-degree angle.
So I then need to do position. Do you want all of them tilted out?
Yep.
Okay, tilt. We'll do -45. So it's towards us.
Yep. And then I want them fanned inwards.
Fanned inwards. So align this way and just pan it like this.
There you go. I also want a I don't know, a line gobo.
Line gobo.
Yep.
So gobo. It's this one.
And then I want it rotating. I don't care what direction.
Okay, we'll do like CQ.
Cool. And then I also want it zoomed out. So go into focus.
Focus
Zoom out wide.
this way.
Yep. Other way. Sorry. That's narrow.
Oh my gosh. Wide.
There you
That's
go.
faster.
All right. So that probably took us 3 minutes.
Okay.
Hit store. Put that in an all preset. All right. Clear out. Triple clear. That just took us 3 minutes, right?
Mhm.
Now click that preset that we just made. Double tap. Wow. Look how fast that is.
Okay. I understand that. Are you in a show specifically clicking these?
No. Most of the
So
time, never.
how do you call these?
You will program
Which
them
I guess
into queues and executors.
okay. And that's
Which
like the sliders and stuff that are on the console.
yes, so we will get to that eventually.
That's gonna be like down here.
Yeah.
Okay. That was my question. But that's fine. That's a good like overview of everything that we've done.
There you go. And plus focus.
Yeah. Which we can get into now, so that way we can kinda
Sure.
or actually I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna call it Christmas.
Hey, Christmas.
Happy Christmas. Okay. To focus.
All right, so focus is where you're going to find your focus. You're also going to have your zoom. Those are really the only two things you're going to use in your focus tab. Focus mode, you don't touch that. Who knows what that does? I don't think even God knows. Yeah, we can off that.
Yeah, that's right. I guess off would put it back to 0.
Yeah. All right, so you have your stuff selected. You're not really going to be able to see focus because MA3D has autofocus for your gobos. But basically, think about it like a camera, right? When
It like
things,
it makes things wide versus small.
well, that's what zoom does. Focus. Think about a camera, right? If something's far, you're gonna have to adjust the focus if it moves closer to you, right?
So it's blurry versus clear.
Exactly. Right. So if
Okay.
you're shining a light on the wall and it has a gobo, you're gonna have to focus it so it's clear and you
Clear.
can actually see the image.
So like for the one I'm not gonna say the specific gig, but you just did a gig where you had gobos of the name brand,
Yep. Yep.
um, you had to use focus in order to make sure the gobos could be clearly read.
Yeah, and we were using LED source 4 Lycos, um which is like like when you think of like a theater light, like the long barreled um
Yeah, the ones that have
non-moving.
like the panels on the side.
Possibly. I don't, it's
Hold
like a
on.
rectangular light. It's like a giant tube basically.
Ooh, maybe not. Hang on. Just give me the name real quick, and I'll be able to look
Look
it up.
look up Lyco, source 4 Lyco.
Source for. How do you spell Lico?
Leko.
Leko. Okay, that's different from what I thought, but it's I recognize it.
So the barrel on the end of it actually you can, yeah,
X.
so you can move that barrel. So wow, it's a big it's like a 10-degree barrel on there. Um but yeah, that entire that so the actual like light part of it is like right basically where your mouse is and up is the actual light. Everything down from there is the barrel, and that barrel can actually telescope in and out to
Okay.
focus
So
your gobo.
it goes like this way in.
Yep, and it goes out
Gotcha.
as well. That,
Right.
that thing goes pretty deep in there, probably like 8 inches.
That's a good example of it all the way in. Right?
That's just the barrel.
Oh.
So the ones you'll see at the shop are the ones on the bottom left of your screen. Um,
This one?
yeah, it's a 19-degree, 50-degree. Um, that's pretty typical to see. Most theaters have those exact ones. The ETC Source 4 Lico.
Okay.
ETC is a brand. It's oh, what is it? Well, they're owned by High End Systems, or did High End Systems get bought out by ETC? I don't know. Either way, Electronic Theater Company is ETC.
Okay.
They make the Ion, which is a lighting console, which a lot of theaters run. Um,
Hang on. It's
yep,
doohickey.
that well, kind of, yeah, very very close. I mean, that is an Ion. The one I used in high school, if you go like front and center down the page, yeah, that one. That's what I used in high school,
Okay.
and we had a little extension wing on it.
Okay. And that would be off to the side,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's pretty
Oh,
basic. It's made for theatrical events. It's very Q inspired. MA is made for live performances. It can be used for a theatrical, uh, scene, and it is a lot. It's a very powerful console, but the Ion is typically a more entry level theater friendly console.
okay.
It's also a lot cheaper than MA. I think you can get it like an Ion for like $10,000.
You say that like that's such a small number.
In this industry, it is.
Yeah,
We have
that's
lights
fair.
at the shop that cost more than that, and all it
Just
do is be bright.
let me get one for $2,300
Look
on
up
Alibaba.
look up MA3 full size, or look at MA3 full. Yeah,
Uh,
20,000 parameters. No way. There you go. Don't choke. I have a question. What is your question?
is this the one that you guys use?
What is the difference between dot? I actually don't know anything about dot. And yes, that is so we have the compact, which is the small version of that, and we have the full. So
So you
remember,
have the
I
full one.
I had the compact at my apartment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just
Yep.
so people know what it looks like.
Oh, that's the we have the compact XT, so it has
Oh,
the
that's
extra
the
screen.
three.
It's right there on your screen there.
This one?
Yep, that's the one I had in my apartment. The
This,
compact XT. No, that's just the compact
oh,
XT.
this
Yeah,
one.
there you
This
go.
is the one that you brought home?
Yep,
God damn.
yep, goes for 41,000.
All right. Oh, fuck. All right. Back to
Back to MA land.
yeah,
I mean, we never left, but we got sidetracked.
yeah.
Um,
Tangents.
yep, yep. All right. So, yeah, what I like to do, we don't really need to use focus for this because we're in 3D, but for zoom, I do like a narrow, normal, and then a wide zoom as a preset.
Okay. Real quick question, because I know you use capture.
Hmm?
What does focus work well in capture versus MA3D?
Yeah, it captures a lot more.
It's a lot higher
Well,
quality of a program.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
MA
So it's
3D
like
was very rushed. It's just enough to get the job done.
the difference. Trying to think of like a good
Guagua.
example.
What is the difference between dot two and MA2? I don't know anything about dot two. I'm sorry. I have never looked into it.
Okay. Anywho's, so you say you normally do a wide, good measure. Um,
Yeah,
store. What's up, Jaxie? By the way. Um, focus, and that's gonna be
wide.
wide,
Hey, remember, you don't have to off anything if it's not red.
right? And then you do normal,
Yep. Sure.
store, put normal in,
Dot two is just a simplified version of MA2. Well, there you go. Here's your answer.
and then you do narrow.
Store.
Store.
I
I my
I
mind just blanked.
Josh.exe has stopped responding. Would you like to restart the program?
For real. My brain just
It
shut off
was, yeah,
completely.
I
Holy
saw that.
shit.
Lesser
Why is
programming
it
capabilities, but is able to program a show still just limited. Yeah, there you go.
why is it so it's not doing anything?
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm just blind. Never mind.
I'm like sitting there watching them go like big is small, big small, big small. You're like, it's not doing anything. It broken. No, it works great.
Listen, I'm kind of an idiot. You should know this by now. All right.
Ah. All right. One of the last things we're gonna get to is beam control. We're not really gonna touch it. The only thing I use in control is like a reset function if like a light goes down. So you actually just go into control quick.
Okay.
Lamp control. Oh yeah, for lamping on and off too. So some fixtures don't have LED engines.
Okay.
And you have to actually turn off the lamp. Well, you don't have to, but it's good practice to. It because when light bulbs get hot, they become fragile, right?
Okay. Yeah, because heat
Um,
expands and it causes yeah, yeah.
yeah, whatever, yeah. Um, these lights have fans in them, right? So if you go ahead and click on that where it says lamp control, you can see there's a lamp on and lamp off function. So sometimes, like if a light doesn't turn on when you plug it in, and you bring it to full, the first thing you always check, typically, besides your grandmaster, is to see if the lamp is on. And you just go into this control menu, hit lamp on. And then whenever you're done with your day and you're ready to power off your rig, like a couple minutes before you turn off or you cut power to your rig, you lamp them off. And you notice if
Okay.
you lamp them off, the Smarties are probably turned off in 3D. Nope, they're still on.
Oop.
Smarties do have lamps, so it's good to lamp them on and off. But yeah, there's also a reset function in there, um, which is good if there should just be like a reset
Oh, it's right
all.
here.
Yeah, there you go.
Reset.
Um,
So
and
you
in
do
the
that
real
as
world, it would redo its calibration.
okay. So reset, reset.
It's
So
not really
that
something that's going to be useful for the
right
3D
now,
stuff. Yeah.
right?
It's like
So
if for whatever reason, like you're whipping your lights around and one of them decided to like uncalibrate itself in the middle of a show, you can select that fixture and run a reset command and it will recalibrate itself and then it will join back in when it's ready.
okay. So you can mass do it with like all these lights, but you can also just be like, I want to do this one, which obviously you wouldn't be able to use MA3D here, but
Yeah.
you could be like 101, please, and then
Yeah,
reset.
you'll reset.
Oh,
And
that's
it
interesting.
and it gets even easier whenever I know it's strange that it's doing that. when we get into layout views, there's gonna be easier and like a better visual way to see your rig, so you don't have to memorize numbers. You can just see
Okay.
where it is on a plot and basically just tap it with your finger, and it will call up that light.
Okay.
But yeah, so I guess besides control, the last thing to get into is beam. And
Okay.
beam, I think you're gonna find the coolest.
Oh, is it the strobe?
No.
Damn. Oh, this is how you do like pinpoint stuff, right? Wait,
No.
you lied to me. This is strobe.
Shutter. Oh yes, sorry. Shutter is strobe, but it wasn't what I was trying to go for in this menu.
I think
Um,
I know what you're trying to go for. This is like the
so notice where it says shutter is there's a shark fin.
right here.
Go to beam. So you have frost. Frost is not really going to be shown on 3D, but imagine taking this light from like a beam light to a wash light. That's where the name hybrid comes in. It's the hybrid between a wash and a beam,
Okay, what's the difference
or a
between
beam and a
wash and
spot.
beam?
Um, sorry, this is
What
a
what
smarter hybrid. So it's a sorry, I just want to correct myself real quick. It's a
you're good.
mix between a beam and a spot.
Okay.
Um,
So
a
beam I
wa-
assume is like kind of like this, right?
yeah. So beam is considered to be a very narrow, um, like I don't know what to call it. Like the light rays, I don't know how to explain it. It's coming out of it is really narrow. So these Smarties, if you zoom them all the way in, they're very tight. Right.
So under focus?
Yeah. If you go to narrow, which they're already on, like that's very tight. And in person, like I've made a stage smoke before
Oh,
from having them zoomed all the way in. They get hot, right? It's really concentrated.
right. It's like
A
a magnifying glass under the sun.
yeah. A spot would be like having
Oh,
the Smartie zoomed all the way out.
what does this do? Because I just clicked it.
I don't even know what you just went into.
I hit preview.
Get out of that. Hit escape.
Eh. Escape. Like the
By the
on the
calculator.
by the calculator.
Left, 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 left. By clear.
I see it.
Oh, what the hell? Hit preview again?
All right.
All right, whatever. Problem solved. Go back to focus though, or we're in beam. Yeah, never mind. Okay.
Yep.
So let's turn your fixtures back on. Right. And then go down into effect.
Into effect.
All right. So now you have a E effect. Right.
Okay.
Let's go into that. The tab that says E. Okay. These are your prisms.
Ooh.
So yeah, go ahead, try that out. And now, well, that's weird. It didn't show it in the MA. Try nudging the value on the encoder for the prism. Why is that not showing? It should be showing prism. Try going to a 16 factor, 2.
This one?
Yeah. Why is it not? All right. Put on a gobo. And then enable your prism. Oh, did you go back to your frost? Is your frost still enabled?
Probably.
No, that's off. Why? I could have sworn it made 3D displayed prisms. I'm pretty sure it does. But anyways, you know what a prism is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It
Where
takes
like
it takes the light and it splits it off into different directions.
right.
So a 16 faceted prism, which means each of those, so that you have one gobo per light there, right? A 16 facet prism would make it so you have 16 gobos per light per fixture. And they're really cool.
That's very sad that it doesn't work.
Yeah, well, gotta love MA3D.
I'm depressed now.
It's a love hate relationship with MA3D. Like, yes, it's free and it like yeah, it works, but it's still kind of a pain.
Damn.
But yeah, anyways, you if it actually displayed, I guess we won't really go into prisms because it's not really displaying. But theoretically, what it would be doing is splitting that into, multiple beams coming out of each light. Just
Okay.
really pretty.
hmm
Prisms is probably one of my favorite effects. The only issue is, um, the more times you split that light, the less
Intense.
intense it is. So
Yeah,
you need
'cause
a
it's literally
really
splitting the
powerful,
energy.
yeah, you need a really powerful, like, and the same thing goes for gobos. The second you start applying gobos to things, the less empty space there is, the dimmer it gets, and you need a really strong light to be able to see some gobos sometimes, especially on the Smarties. They're not really powerful lights.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that with like one of the ones that I had up at one point
Yeah,
for
you can like
Gobos.
barely see it. And if you're dragging a
Mhm.
Proteus Maximus and it's just like it will
Okay.
blow out the rest of those.
All right, so that's beam, but let's go back to shutter because I want to add a strobe effect. Oh,
All
that's
right.
nice. I can just click through that.
Yeah, you can also just click.
So we're gonna
Personally,
do
I know
max strobe.
there's an argument from programming strobes from the shutter preset. Personally, I like making my strobes out of dim effects.
Okay,
Um,
so
but to each
oh,
their own. Um,
let's
I
check out the
know
dim then.
you won't be able. It's a legitimate effect that you have to build. You won't be able to do it
Oh,
from
okay.
here. Um, I know doing a strobe effect from the shutter presets, it can strobe faster because it's based off of the light and not the console sending the information out. So you can get a faster strobe. I find that I mean it's just easier for me if I can take my entire rig and make it strobe at the same rate by running a dim effect through it. I may not be able
Okay.
to get as fast as some fixtures, but it's fast enough for anything I would need.
Yeah, because I mean, at a certain point, strobes just feel like they're going at the same speed.
Yeah,
'Cause
well, so
there's
the
like a
the
fall
thing
off.
is you remember how I told you when we were talking about colors how each fixture is a little different?
hmm
Well, same thing goes for this. So these strobe values, right? You're selecting a number between 0 and 100, right?
Right, and that's
But
that's like a specific rate. So it's like
but that's
0 of
just for
100,
that
but it's like
fixture. A different
right,
a different fixture type or manufacturer, they might have different values. So you have like
right,
in the shutter menu you have like an open or like an on, and then you have your fast strobe to slow strobe, and then you have your fast random to slow random, then you have your fast pulse to slow pulse, right? Those are all going to be in different ranges depending on what fixture you're using.
and doing
So
it through the dim allows you to equalize that across different fixtures.
yeah, because it's no longer banking off of presets built from the factory for these fixtures. It's now the console setting the standard for your entire rig. That's my argument on why I don't use the shutter function in fixtures.
Is there a reason why this one's grayed out?
Because there's no information stored inside of it.
Oh, why is this off?
I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it.
I ain't got no gas in it. I think I figured it out. Overwrite. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, there you go.
Um, we'll just call it open. Or is that bad practice because I have two opens?
But the two opens for different things. You have one open for your shutter, and you have one open for your gobo. Those are two
Right.
different
Okay.
things.
I just didn't know whether that was bad practice, just so then it wouldn't like confuse you. I was like, oh, is this Gobo? Which I know that like it's right there, but like if I'm imagining like having a full screen of just like pools and stuff
I mean
could
that.
cause like some confusion.
Yeah, I mean that's why labeling is everything. Like so far, you have labeled every single thing that you've created,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you are going to continue that because the
Mm-hmm.
second you stop labeling things, and I think when building a bunch of effects, it becomes the hardest because I always forget to label effects, and then I go back and then I either poorly labeled them or didn't label them at all, and I'm like, oh, what's this? What is this? I ended up spending like extra time, like just clicking through effects that I've made in the past, and being
So
like,
like
oh,
clear, concise labels is important.
yes, very. Because like the thing is a lot of time LDs are on a time crunch, and
Mm.
the more shortcuts you know, the less time you have to spend searching for something. You know, the more you're going to be wanted and appreciated, and also just the faster your workflow is going to be, so you can spend less time working.
Okay.
That's the thing, and like there's programming a light show takes such a long time that literally every keystroke counts,
Okay.
right? Um, so there's shortcuts throughout this entire software. There's a million and one ways to do every single action in this software,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Okay.
kind of like how we brought up, so like to make our groups, right? Well, you can select them by channel ID or fixture ID, right? You can call them up, via the calculator, or you can do it through the auto create menu, right? It's just stuff like that. There's so many different ways to do any action. If you had a layout view, you can call your groups like that. Um, you can even call through worlds, which we'll get into later.
Okay.
There is a ton of things in the software, and like, I at this point, like you have made enough to start actually like, well, I would arguably say there's more to do before you start making your show.
Okay. What's left
Typically,
to do?
well, typically, like I would make a layout view next, where I would have
Okay.
done that actually ages ago. I typically, my order of operation for when I make a show is I import my groups, I go make my layout view, or I make my colors, either or, and then I make my positions, and then I'll do everything else after that.
Okay. But I mean, like in the example of like, instead of just creating a show, like just to like create a time code show at home.
Uh huh.
So in the example of like your line of work, you would create your groups. Would you create your layout view at the shop, or would you do that on site?
I would do it the second I start the show file,
Okay.
because you
So
remember you
you,
remember how select I told you selection order is everything.
mhm.
Your layout view is the tool for selection order.
Okay. So we can get into that in a second if that's fine with you.
I think I'm gonna call it here soon.
Okay.
I think now we've touched base on every single one of the preset types except for
Okay.
video, but that comes into pixel mapping, and we are not touching that anytime soon.
That's fine.
Um, it's not complicated. It's just like, I mean, you can do
Not
bit
something
you
that
can
I'll use.
not something you'll use, and uh, to do true, like you'd be doing bit mapping from within the console. If you do actual pixel mapping, you need a VPU with someone pumping Resolume through it into the console. And
Okay.
Resolume is, you remember how I was telling you we were looking over that Deadmau5 show,
Mhm.
and you had the graphics going on the cube, and then the graphics are spilling off the cube onto those LED strips.
Mhm.
Remember that? That's because they're running Resolume, and then it's going into a VPU, which is pulling the information off of the um, whatever video is playing, and then it's mapping it over the rig.
Okay. So it's kind of like the way I'm thinking about it is it's like it's like, hey, this is the video I want to display. This is what the rig looks like. Now just kind of just slap it on up there,
Yeah, so you
and it
literally, whenever
uses
you,
whatever it needs to in
yeah,
order to
yeah.
make that.
So whenever
So
you
like,
make a whenever you go to pixel map, you literally draw a rectangle over your fixtures in your layout view, and then it basically will stretch whatever video you're trying to play over that, and then it will apply it to those fixtures and whatever quote unquote pixel it seems is closest to where
Alright,
that fixture is placed.
I think this is muted. I'm gonna try to not get you copyright strike here. Because there's a specific image that I'm thinking of.
Huh?
Okay, I have it muted. So like
Yes, this
my
is perfect.
immediate
Yeah,
thought
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yes, this.
is this right here.
Yes, you can
So
see it's
there's
spilling
LED,
over.
yeah.
Yeah,
So literally, there's a computer that says this is what the rig looks like. There's these LED strips back here. Are they LED strips or are they video panels?
they're LED
Oop.
strips.
Oop.
Oh my god, that was the ACL. Oh, I was at that show.
This
This was an amazing show. Yes.
one?
I
All right,
was here.
I'll have to check this out later. That sounds
Homie
dope
brings
as.
out a couch and then a man in a shark costume comes out and gives him a beer. It's awesome.
All right. I didn't know these were LED strips. I thought these were like video
Well,
panels.
so those are video panels, but then there's LED strips on the top and bottom of them.
Okay. Where's the one specific example?
I mean, there as well.
Right. I mean, I'm thinking in the ASCII dead mouse head.
Yeah.
Like this. Because that's just the immediate thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking like this right here.
Yeah, right. So
Okay.
and it's really well mapped out. Like there was a lot of planning
Mhm.
that went into this, and they have to measure it to make sure it all lines up, and it lines up very well.
Mhm.
But yeah, you literally just draw a rectangle in the MA software, and then the MA
Okay.
figures out, hey, this is the closest pixel to where this fixture is. We're going to display that.
All right. Interesting. I think that would be a fun thing to get into is like video walls
Oh,
and
hey, look
stuff.
what's on your recommended.
What's that?
Teaching a noob MA2 Q&A.
Oh, hey, yo, that's crazy. Damn,
Wow.
it's almost like I had it pulled up already.
Yeah. Ah, Inception.
All right.
Enough of that.
So this will be where we leave off tonight then.
Yes. I hope I've taught you a couple things tonight, and I hope y'all in the chat have learned something. I think I'm gonna try to splice the stream up into segments of going over each preset type and uploading them, because I haven't gone in this much detail about any of the preset types before, and I think communicating with someone else who's learning about it just kind of helps run through the process a bit.
Yeah, because you're asking questions and
Yeah, we're Q&Aing it, and that's going to help a lot of people who's just trying to get into this for the first time, and it's really cool. You are officially a part of the process of teaching the masses MA2.
I feel so honored.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like 2 years from now, all this is going to be irrelevant because MA3 is going to take over. It's already taken over. I need to start learning MA3.
I have one last question.
Yes.
So when I close out of Grand MA on PC, is this preset for which actually I want to do store and then here, right? And we'll do this as full. Will this be remembered, or will I have to make this every single time?
That'll be remembered.
Okay.
It doesn't. You can click on the main, and it'll all still be there.
Oh wait. Oh what?
Yeah.
How does that work? So
because okay, so here's what's going on. What it is saving is saving the preset pools, but those preset pools have information in them, and those are stored separately from the screens. So because it's displaying like the first through however many pools of each preset type, those pools have information stored in them already. All it's doing is it's calling up those presets in the arrangement that you had it in, and then the preset pools already had information in them.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to remake all this stuff every single time, but I won't have to put in the pools for all this.
Yeah, so you could like, okay, delete your gobos. Click the yellow ball. Yeah. Now bring up your gobo pool.
Go.
There you go.
So
So it's the information's still there, right?
right.
So it's not calling up that the actual stored information that we created. It's storing up those preset types.
Okay. So that's yeah. That kind of answers my question in a kind of roundabout way. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it in a better way.
Here, let me give a shot at this. So this remembers your layout,
Huh?
but it doesn't remember all the information stored in it when you like say do a hard reset. So if I were to fully close out of Grand MA on PC right here
Make sure you
and say
save.
do not save.
we haven't saved the show file since we started it. That's a terrible
Yes.
thing I put you on, but yeah,
Did I save
normally
it?
yes you did.
Okay.
I think.
Let's hope.
It's all
Oh, that's
gone.
convenient. Remembers.
Yeah.
That's got to load.
Are you going to be doing more streams? Hopefully that's the goal. I do have quite a bit of travel coming up. Yeah, you saved it.
Oh, hey. Sick. But if I were to hit do not save, it wouldn't have
Yeah, it's like starting a project in Blender and then forgetting to
mhm,
save your work before exiting the program.
mhm. But these would have stayed. It would have just remembered my pools. Correct?
Well, if you didn't save
Or
the
is
show
this
file, it would have all been deleted.
okay? So these are specific to shows.
No. Oh, yes, those are
Show
your
file.
windows, right? So, because, like, think about it. Now you filled up that screen. If you couldn't, like, interchange that screen of another window, it just becomes rendered useless, right?
Mhm.
So, like, you could clear that screen and make that screen your layout view, and then now you can switch between those two, and then you can have all your executors on that page and save that as another window, right?
Okay.
It's just a way for space optimization.
Okay. So it's literally like imagining you have different like
Imagine you
pop-up
have a bunch
windows,
of
like like
screens. Yeah.
like effectively like doing this, and it's like cycling through these.
Yes. Yes. That's exactly what it is.
Gotcha. I'm gonna reset this back up so the next time I pull Grand MA up, it's gonna do everything
Daddy
properly.
MA.
Daddy, Zaddy MA.
All right. This is a educational stream. But yeah. Anyways, I think next time we get into this, we'll live stream it again. We'll jump into layout views. I believe that's gonna be our next topic.
Okay.
Was your channel learning MA while doing laundry?
Was on your channel.
Oh, I was on your channel while doing laundry. I just saw your live. Well, thanks for joining in. Sorry that you joined late. It's late. It's 12:30 in the morning.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize.
Yep, it's bedtime. It's night time.
It's definitely bedtime.
Yeah, but we'll do another one of these soon. Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Um,
It won't
probably.
probably be this late, honestly, because
Yeah, Sunday's probably my
I'm
next day. I could do one of these.
I'm free to do that.
Yeah, I have a show this weekend. So.
Ooh, fun! You'll have to tell me about that off stream.
Well, you can come along if you want.
Ooh,
It's nothing big.
what day is it?
Saturday.
I should be good Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, you could totally jump along and be along for the ride.
Wait, that's tomorrow. Oh wait, no, yeah, no,
Tomorrow's.
that is tomorrow because it's
Well,
already
okay.
Friday today.
Technically, today's Friday. If you want to be that
I
person, all right.
my okay. I looked at my watch and it said Friday.
Used to hate late hours in this century. Yeah, dude. I'm a natural born morning person. Staying up this late kills me. I'm so tired right now.
I am the exact opposite. I'm a natural born night owl.
And you are going to be great when you start working with me.
Yeah, I'm not excited to be up at as early as you are.
I mean, getting home at 7 a.m. from a gig is best feeling in the world. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, you
Alrighty.
stalled our outro.
Yeah.
Too long.
All right, chat. Y'all have a good night. Sunday. No promises, but Sunday. Potentially see
Later,
you
guys.
then. All right. Have a good night.